Well, I don't know how to play basketball. Should we talk about...
Scoop! There it is.
Should we talk about how we used to play basketball in college?
Yeah.
Dylan was the best.
Dylan was the center. He was
Doesn't make any
Shaq.
sense.
He was Shaq.
He's idol Shaq.
Out of all the games we played, Dylan was the only one to get in a fight.
He actually was, dude.
I know. That's my point.
To Curiosity Public, I am Dutch.
I am Jules.
Dylan.
And welcome to another episode of our Ultimate Spirits competition, our quest to review every sipping spirit on the face of the planet, subjected to our crazy hard 100-point scoring system. And in this episode, we are super happy to be doing another tequila, but it is a celebrity tequila, guys. Have you guys heard of Lebron James?
LeBron James.
Well, he has a tequila, and this is it. This is Lobos 1707. I think that's right. Yeah. It is his new tequila. So he's a basketball star. And this is his Reposado tequila, finished in PX sherry casks, which is kind of interesting. 80 proof. Pretty good looking bottle, I think, actually. I like the design.
You know what? I gotta say,
Look at that.
it kind of looks like a pancake syrup bottle.
Yeah, it's got a compass on the back, which I think is kind of cool.
That is
And it's got this weird, like, it almost looks like the English flag, or like the English soccer team's crest. Look at that, with the lions on it.
He is an investor.
He is King James, after all. So, I don't know anything about basketball. Who is LeBron James?
Like one of the greatest ever. He's definitely on the Mountain Rushmore of basketball
Did you say
players.
Mountain Rushmore?
Mountain Rushmore.
I don't know about that.
So, who's your favorite basketball player ever, Jules?
Ooh, ever? I still got to give it up to Michael Jordan.
And Dylan?
So, just an anecdote real quick. Jules and I went to Chicago, and we took a picture in front of Jordan's statue. And I think I'm the only person in front of the statue that took a picture like this.
He was.
And everybody around were waiting to take a picture and booed. And I said, keep booing because it gives me power.
And your favorite player is who?
Magic Johnson.
There you
All right. Wow.
Because I should say.
go. We can't say.
My favorite basketball player is Dr. J because I used to play on the computer Dr. J versus Larry Bird back in the day on EA Sports.
He's on fire.
No,
Actually,
this was before it.
That's before that.
It was like dot matrix. Like it was like stick figures playing basketball.
Man.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know anything about basketball, but this is a tequila made by a basketball player. And we've, in the past, reviewed another tequila made by a basketball player called Michael Jordan. And he did Sankoro, which was not excellent. It was one of the lowest scoring things. And we've also reviewed a celebrity tequila by a wrestler named The Rock, Terramana, which
Better known as for his acting career.
which was pretty decent actually. So I don't know
I'm
how
excited. I can't wait.
LeBron's tequila is going to rank. This comes out of. So the great thing about tequila is you can find a decent amount about it just by what's on the label. So we know the NOM number is 1460. So you can look it up on the internet, and NOM is basically the number designating a tequila distillery, and you can see all of the other brands that are created by NOM 1460, and there are a lot, which is kind of one of those telltale signs that it is a mass-producing distillery, and they produce stuff for lots of different brands. There's a great site called Tequila Matchmaker, and they'll give you all kinds of information about the way that this tequila is made. So, for instance, they do use a high-pressure cooking method, which is generally frowned upon. Doesn't mean it's bad tequila, but it's mass-produced is kind of what that means. They do use roller mill extraction, which is the more traditional method. So that's a plus. We don't know if there is any additives, right? That's not something that's disclosed. That's something that you kind of just have to figure out from tasting them. I will point out, and this is a shout-out to Tequila Matchmaker, they are starting an additive-free designation for tequilas where they will come in and kind of vet the process, and they'll let them put a little sticker on there that says additive free. This obviously doesn't have it. It's a new program, so a lot of brands haven't even tried that yet. But I'm very interested to try this because it is finished. So it is a Reposado, which means it's aged. up to a year, and we don't know how long exactly this is aged, but we do know it's aged, or at least finished, in sherry casks, which is kind of unique for a Reposado. I'm going to get us poured. Dylan, do you have anything else?
I mean, the NOM is for the Tequila de Arandas, which, again, like you said, they make a lot of tequila. When they launched this, I think they offered the Joven. I mean, the lineup was a little weird.
Yeah.
They released the Joven, the Reposado, and the Extra Añejo. So no Blanco, but...
Which is potentially a sign that there are additives, because for a true... To label something as a Blanco, a lot of the times, you can't put any additives in it.
Right.
And that's why a lot of these unaged products come out as Joven, because technically you just put a little bit of something in there with an additive, and now, well, you can't call it a Blanco, but it basically is a Blanco with additives. So... Right. I don't know. We'll have to taste it and see if we can pick up anything. Anything else, Dylan? Are you good to go?
Let's try to see who is the best basketball player tequila maker.
But he does play on the Lakers, and you're a Lakers fan, right?
Yeah, I'm an old school Lakers fan. I'm more of the Showtime
Basically,
era.
he hasn't left the 80s.
Showtime era.
Hence our show.
I don't think any of us have left the 80s. It's not a good place to be stuck either.
It does have legs.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious. I mean, I have tried this, but I'm not saying anything because I want to see what you guys think. Price point, we should point out, is, I mean, it's a new release. It's a celebrity release, so you are seeing a lot of markup on it, but I think around $50. I'll put up on the screen what I actually paid. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was around 50. All right, guys, we've had some time to taste. We've all scored it. We haven't discussed it at all. We have no idea what each other have scored it. We're going to discuss that in a second, but first, Jules is going to tell you about our scoring system.
We do have a 100-point grading system off 10 categories that include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. We do weigh flavor more with 20 points, and aesthetics and value at half at 5 each. And you can score a medal in our competition by scoring a 60 and above, where you get a bronze, silver for 70 and up, gold at 80 and up, diamond at 90.
All right, let's reveal our initial scores before we've had a chance to discuss it, because of course it could change. Could change. I gave this a 70.
66.
I gave it a 77.
Okay. All right, we're in this.
Well, yeah, we do span it.
We're in an interesting range here. I want to discuss this because it actually very much surprised me, and there were a number of categories where I feel like I could be talked up or down. So I'm right in between you guys. So I feel like you guys could talk me up or down. So
Yeah.
let's kick it off by discussing the aroma. I gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
I give it a 7.
I gave it an 8.
I think it's a very nice, clear. It doesn't.
I'm getting the agave. I'm not put up any I
don't get any additives.
It's a well-balanced agave aroma.
Yeah, it's a nice,
I don't know about
pleasant aroma.
balance. I mean, it's...
No,
It smells like a Blanco, is what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really smell like a Repo. There's a slight hint of a barrel in there, but
there's definitely barrel in here. There's definitely barrel.
A little bit. It's good. It
doesn't have that crisp aroma that Blancos have. So
okay, that's fair. 8 I think is good. I understand a 7. Let's move on to flavor. I had a hard time. I waffled back and forth. I was back and forth between a 16 and a 15. I ended up at a 15. I could easily be talked up another point. Could easily be talked down a point. Where'd you guys end up?
I gotta give it a 14.
Okay. I was going back and forth between 16 and 17. Ultimately, I ended up in a 17. A very, very soft one. I think there's definitely a glaring omission here, which is ironically agave.
Exactly.
But the problem is okay, you want agave for tequila, obviously, right? But then you also have to kind of judge it by its entire presentation.
Yeah.
Like if you're just searching for agave alone, this is not going to be your jam. You need to move on.
Yeah.
But just its presentation was not offensive.
No.
And it had flavors that were familiar. It had a hint of agave. and then it had a hint of citrus and sweetness, and it was just pleasant.
The thing that threw me off, actually, I think, is the sherry influence. And I feel like that, it's this weird thing, and it adds this sweetness, and in my brain, I can't really tell if it's additive sweetness or sherry influence. And I think that was, if it's masked completely the additive flavor, well, hats off to you. You figured out a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Because it tastes clean, it tastes crisp. It doesn't taste additive laden.
Right.
It really doesn't. And I don't know. I think there's something about the balance there that, and I mean, this bleeds over for me in a balance that I couldn't get any higher. I don't know. I could be talked up to a 16, but there's nothing.
I agree with you because
you used a key word for me though. It masked. So it masked the agave.
I get the
that's
agave.
the reason. I mean, I only got a hint of it.
I get agave,
and that's the reason I docked it as many points as I did, because it's like it's not. I don't know. It's.
I feel like I got the agave. I was missing the full bandwidth of it. Maybe like I get that kind of citrusy punch at the base, and everything out here is kind of like, oh, that kind of tastes like maybe it's a light sherry influence, but maybe it's an additive, or maybe it's some barrel influence. I had a hard time. It was not discernible.
I completely agree with you about the additive part.
Yeah.
It's like, am I tasting the additive, or am I tasting, which is good because you
the
want
fact
to
that
be
you're questioning it.
Yeah.
It's good because maybe it's not.
It's not a blaring.
It's not obvious
example of additive tequila.
Right.
They've either figured out an amazing way to mask it, or they haven't used them.
Right.
That's what I would say. Okay, body. I thought the mouthfeel was a little lacking. I ended up at a 7. I was back and forth. Sorry, a 6. I was in between a 7 and a 6, but I ended up at a 6.
I give it a 7. It was lacking, but not. I mean, it was still good enough.
I think I gave it an 8. I was shocked how the mouthfeel was actually really pleasant.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's a little thin.
I think you guys are a little bit harsh. I think it's a little bit harsh. I think it's not as thin as you make it out to be.
It's thin.
I think you don't like basketball players.
Oh, I love basketball.
And I think you're biased. I know you're like the biggest LeBron fan.
Okay, guys, let's move on to complexity. Again, another one I waffled back and forth. I ended up at a 7.
I gave it a 7.
There's stuff going on here. You know, it's not blowing. It's not going to win any awards, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's
muted.
That's
why I
simple.
gave it a 6.
It's simple.
Muted.
And you know what?
Simple. That makes it even less complex, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it down to a 6.
Yeah,
I got to say, this is not...
It's just teetering on, like, middle of the road, but it's like, you know,
I'm not interested in thinking about this. Yeah. I'm actually not interested about thinking about this. Well, like, if somebody poured this, I'd drink this.
The reason I would disagree with you is because I keep coming back to this and thinking, okay, what's the sherry? And like, picking out that PX influence versus the agave that's in there versus potentially additives. From an academic perspective, I actually kind of had fun with that. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty interesting.
That was it. That was it.
I don't know. Weird. Okay, guys, balance. I ended up at a 7 as well. I mean, there's not a ton of flavors here, but for what was there, it drinks very clear, very crisp, well balanced for what's there, but not winning any awards again.
That's why I give it a 6.
Okay.
For those reasons, exactly.
Well, so that's interesting. You gave that a 6. I gave it a 7. So my whole thing was this. I was like, there's not much to balance, and so I balanced it.
That's kind of how I feel. Yeah.
So
they did well with what was there, but there wasn't a lot there to do, so they don't get extra points for not having to do any work.
For not making it worse.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about the finish. It was very short. 6. It wasn't bad. It
wasn't bad.
Yeah, so I was going back and forth between 7 and 8. I think I'm going to go down to a 7.
Dude, it trails off really quickly.
No. I don't think it trailed off for me. I'm not enjoying the finish as much as I would like.
I can't taste it.
It has a weird...
I can't taste anything.
No, you can taste it. You could taste it.
It's very subtle.
It's still there.
But, you know, the nice thing about it is that it doesn't taste artificial.
Agreed.
Which with some of the additive ones we've had,
agreed,
you can taste that artificial finish.
Yeah.
I don't taste that here. There's something there. It disappears very quickly. I'm left with like this very, very faint sherry finish.
It's very faint.
It's there. It's there.
All right. Well, moving on to uniqueness. So I factored in celebrity tequila and the fact that it's pretty tasty. And I don't really think there's any additives. I ended up at an 8.
You know what? I'm going up. I'm going up to an 8 as well.
Nice. Dylan?
Yeah.
I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7. I was waffling between 6 and a 7.
Yeah.
I'm bored. I'm kind of bored.
Yeah, but
I don't
It is unique for celebrity offering.
Yeah, I had to factor in that
It's
this is
not-
a celebrity.
there's not-
You can't even tell if if
Tequila.
there's additives in there.
You know what? I'm not putting this in my bar. Why am I putting this in the bar?
Okay, but if you had to choose from the celebrity tequilas,
Do you have
Why?
any tequilas
Why are you
in your
picking
bar?
that? That's a
Besides
a false,
Espolón?
that's the category this
That's
falls
a
in. I'm
false
sorry.
metric. Like, what does that mean? You have to judge it amongst all tequilas. Why are you giving this a benefit? Like you're giving this a benefit of the doubt just because it's a tequila? No.
I am.
Yeah,
No.
you are.
They're regular human
It has a
beings.
handicap
They're
because he's
regular
putting his
human
name
beings.
behind
Yeah.
it.
Tequila with a marketing ploy,
Exactly.
right? Depending whatever that marketing ploy is, and the fact that it doesn't taste additive laden,
Exactly.
I'm gonna give
That's
it
a
those
bonus.
points.
He's
I'm
getting
gonna
a
give it those
bonus for
points.
this. That's
Yeah.
what makes it unique. Is his name on there?
Yeah, and I
not
don't.
Would you
on here
still call it?
anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's associated. He took the photos.
And I'm not gonna give that point. I'm not gonna. I'm
Okay.
just
Yeah,
bored.
you're
I don't
entitled.
think you would.
Yes, from a strict flavor profile, you're right. I agree with you.
But that's what the
I do
uniqueness
give it the
encapsulates is because of it's
For
got a
where it
celebrity
sits
name
in the
on
realm
there.
of spirits, I have to give it that.
Yeah,
point.
I don't get awed by celebrity. You
I know.
guys. I don't care.
How about Andy Garcia?
Should I tell the Andy Garcia story? Save it for the podcast.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that in a podcast, but you guys need to hear the Dylan Andy Garcia story if you don't think he loves celebrities. Okay, guys, aesthetics. I kind of like this
Drinkability?
bottle.
Did we do?
No, we didn't.
We didn't do drinkability. I'm stupid. Drinkability. It's a very clean finish, made it very drinkable. 8.
8.
I gave it a 9.
I could see a 9.
Yeah,
I was
me
actually
too.
tempted to go to a 9,
me
but
too.
I'm comfortable at an 8.
Me too.
I was actually
It's
surprised.
fresh.
It's fresh. It's
There's
simple.
no
crisp.
There's nothing
artificial
Right.
tasting.
Yep.
I could definitely see that. Now we'll get to aesthetics. I like the bottle. I gave it a 4.
Really?
I did.
I
Yeah.
wish he tried harder with the bottle. I give it a 3.
I like that it's a little.
I gave it a 3.
I give it a 3.
It looks either like a pancake syrup bottle,
It does look
or
like Mrs. Butterworth.
yeah,
Oh, and Jemima, dude.
Yeah, Jemima.
Yeah,
That's what I
or right, or hey, that's not proper. That they changed the name. Remember?
They did?
They
Yeah,
did?
they did.
What's it called
Oh.
now?
And Jemima,
it's
they
like,
just removed
no.
her-
It's like something mill.
Oh,
Jemima Mill?
oops. All right, we're going to
We
get
just got
our
canceled.
standards and...
We might have to have a lot of bleeping there. or
Okay, it's a Pearl Milling Company. The Pearl Milling Company. Okay, PepsiCo changed it to Pearl Milling Company. The other thing that this looks like is a dish soap. Dish soap
Kind of
bottle.
looks like a canola oil bottle too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It looks like oil, and because of the color, it looks like oil. So
Yeah,
I'm going down like.
Come on, LeBron.
Maybe I'm going down to
You should
2.
have tried harder, man.
Let me see. Let me look at this.
Come on, LeBron.
I'm gonna go down to a 3. I do still like it. I
it's
mean,
all- it's all right.
It's got this compass here. That's pretty cool.
The compass is cool.
It's got this. I mean, it doesn't look like other tequila bottles necessarily, and he didn't go for like gaudy monstrosity like Michael Jordan's.
Yeah.
That's
like,
awesome.
Crazy
Dude,
bottle.
do not even tear down that bottle.
I will tear it
that
down.
That bottle is amazing.
It's all
Terramana down?
23 degrees. 23 degrees for number 23. Come on.
Lame.
lame. Okay,
Awesome.
value $50 for a tequila that tastes like this. It's a 1.
Wow.
I would take Arete. I'd take Tapatio. I'd take Espolón. I might even take Terramana over this. I don't think it's worth $50. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe a 2, but that's if I'm feeling really generous.
Well, I give it a 3 because I am feeling generous because of the celebrity factor. I am going to give it as a gift for someone who is a basketball fan.
Okay, I
And
get
for
that.
that
yeah.
alone, like, oh my God.
That's
you
1
know.
point, dude. Come
Yeah,
on.
so add that 2 and then maybe another point because it's LeBron 3.
Yeah.
fanboy alert.
Okay, so
Totally.
it gets a 1. I agree with you because there are so many alternatives at that
At
price
that
point.
price, but
I do give it another point
there you
because
go. LeBron.
people do love LeBron James.
Exactly.
I probably not at the level of Magic
And
Johnson.
I would gladly buy 3 of these instead of Cincoro. Come on, guys. If you guys are comparing celebrity
Yeah.
tequilas,
But I'd rather buy
Celebrity
3
tequilas.
Tapatios at less for the Reposado
That's
and
fair.
have more liquid because it's a liter.
that's fair.
And it's much better.
But with the celebrity
You guys are
stamp.
both
With
wrong.
the celebrity stamp.
what, a
and-
2?
and
Come
it's
on.
LeBron.
I think
LeBron.
you're wrong.
LeBron.
You know, you spent
LeBron.
all this time like
LeBron.
defending proper 12 and
I
like
did not.
and
dude.
you're like, oh,
I
if
did
you
not
were
score
a fan
proper 12
Hey,
of...
I have a really cool hoodie, all right?
Yeah, Dylan wears that every week now.
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's get our final scores. I did change my score, didn't I?
Yeah.
I have to recalculate.
You did.
And I did end up at a 69.
68.
74.
You can tell who the LeBron fan is
Dylan
here,
was the most generous.
which gives us our final,
did it make
our
it?
actual score for the Curiosity
Yeah.
Public Ultimate Spirits competition for LeBron James's Lobos, which means wolf, 1707. Just barely a silver. 70.
Yeah!
Wow.
Go LeBron, dude.
LeBron.
Another thing he beats Michael Jordan at.
He does beat Michael Jordan. So for our members, we will be doing a quick comparo between this and the Michael Jordan Sincoro.
Are we actually going to do this comparison?
We might do Terramana. I don't know yet. We might do one of these. But if you want to become a member of Curiosity Private and see these kinds of fun, quick comparos we do, hit that join button down below and you'll get access to those videos as well. This was fun, guys.
This was
So Jules, take us out.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up. If you like this episode, subscribe for more videos from Curiosity Public. Check out our podcast on all the major podcast platforms out there. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious. So what do you guys think? Which one should we compare it against?
Terramana.
Terramana.
Don't even bother
Really?
with Sincoro, man. We're only comparing it because of the basketball nature.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, hey, members get to see some cool stuff, but
Let's do it.